So last 2 gravel races of the season. How did they go? Well, first up, UCI Gravel Series in Wales. Really excited about this one because the women had their own day. We went up to recon the course. It was really, really beautiful up there. Really cool course.
First impression of the course?
Smooth. Lakey. Pretty. Teammates, it's only taken till September.
Really excited for it. Back on the gravel, back on the Addict. Unfortunately, I woke up feeling pretty horrendous and couldn't really eat. Probably shouldn't say all the details, but drove to the start and unfortunately a no-go for me. I couldn't start the race. So I managed to get some food down for the following week and head up to Yorkshire, best place in the world, and it was the Gravel National Championships.
Welcome to Yorkshire.
Welcome to North Dolby Forest. I can actually say it like that as well. We went to recon the course on the Friday, even though the race was on the Sunday, because they had the age groupers racing on the Saturday. And I was regretting entering, to be honest. The course was probably my hell, actually, in terms of just everything. One, it was laps. And I quite like the idea of an adventure on a race and not having opt-out points. So it was 4 laps. And then it was basically 4 hill reps, 4 sort of 10-minute hill reps, long and draggy. And then the descents were just so fast because they were just super straight. So they were over too quick and then dead stop at the bottom of every descent back into a hill climb. So you couldn't even have like a bit of momentum at the start of every climb. So yeah, not for me.
I'll blow up, I'll blow up. I'll be really good for an hour.
So it was 4 laps of 4 climbs, 113k in total, and over 2,000 meters of elevation. I knew that I hadn't been training my endurance or these kind of efforts all summer because I'd been doing crits. So I knew I'd have to pace it.
Hello.
On massive field.
Second last week in the Welsh round of the UCI Gravel World
Relaxed.
Series.
The race went off really, really fast, really hard. And obviously in that crit mindset, I followed and I went with the start of the race. And then I got held back on the first descent, so there became a bit of a gap. Got back onto the group on the first climb, was wondering if it was too much of an effort, and then someone kicked about halfway up the first climb and I decided not to go with it and then just sort of stick to my own pace, ride at my own pace, which I think was a good plan because then for the rest of the lap I was catching and overtaking riders who were completely blown up already, 1 lap in.
Right there.
I could always see Maddie Nutt just in front of me and I was happy to just ride my own race, so kept her there for about a lap, but I definitely messed up my nutrition. I just didn't think about fueling at all first lap, and it wasn't until I passed the feed zone and Ollie was trying to hand me a bottle and I was like, I haven't drank anything out of this one. So that was probably my downfall really, because I was holding a really good power threshold up all the climbs. First lap, second lap, I was like, well, that's probably too much, so I'll do sort of sweet spot. But third lap, that was not sustainable for me because I think the lack of endurance training and the lack of fueling.
Big one or little one?
More than an hour.
Yeah, you can.
I'm fucked.
But it was great having Ollie in the feed. It was great not having to have loads of stuff on me. It didn't really feel like a gravel race in that sense though, because I quite like the adventure of just being self-sufficient. But it was very encouraging and it was nice to hear where I was. So I went past the start finish for the second time and someone shouted at me, "You're in for a top 10. You're nearly at a top 10. I was like, what?
Little one or big one? got caffeine on it as well. Got caffeine on it.
Oh, thank you.
One more.
Am I the last one?
No.
Really?
No, one behind you. Right, come on, crack on. Oh, you're in 11th.
I'd said to myself, I am finishing this race. So at no point did I think of pulling out. At no point was I having to fight to keep going. I just accepted the fact that I wasn't in the shape that I wanted to be. And I think I peaked in March. A lot of people had pulled out. The weather came in. It was really soggy. It was really grey. It was pretty grim. And it's pretty lonely out there for probably about 105k.
Final rider of the day, Laura Senior for Scott's Pioneer DJ.
But I like riding my bike, and it was in Yorkshire, and just kept going, just kept pedalling really.
Elizabeth Hermo now to take the national champions jersey. Your new women's elite national gravel champion. Where everything seems so sure. Laura Senior coming home after a huge day out on the gravel. Last rider on the road, she's rode incredibly. Laura Senior. So can we please get one more massive round of applause? Sophie Wright, Georgia Taylor Brown and Lizzie Hermley, your new national gravel champion.
In the end, I finished 11th, just through sheer grit and determination to keep going. I didn't get pulled. There was a time cut, but I managed to stay within that. And I was the last person over the line. I was the last person to do the full course. So thank you for all the volunteers and marshals for standing on those corners and seeing me through, especially thanks to the Phoenix cleaning guys who cleaned my bike at the end. I was extremely grateful. Oh yeah, so the day before the National Gravel Champ, I went to do a crit because I realised I was 3 points off my first category licence on the road. Unfortunately, had really good legs and worked way too hard at the front of the race. It was a men's race, and then I came 11th, so I got no points in the end, which was a shame. But I finished that off last weekend at Hillingdon, and I've now got my first category licence on the road. So successful summer, even though that wasn't the goal, but I'm happy. I'm happy to get that back. Lots of thoughts on gravel racing this year. Obviously, I've not done as many as I originally planned, and there's several reasons for that, really. There'll be a wrap-up of my thoughts on gravel a little bit later on because I've still got one more big adventure. So we're going to Australia. We're going to the Dirty Docker, which is very exciting. It's a weekend of gravel and cyclocross and beer mile runs with Mitch Docker, just north of Melbourne in Lancefield. And then from the Dirty Docker, we're going to bike pack from Melbourne to Sydney. Very exciting. It's going to be an amazing way to end the year. No world champs, but couldn't turn down this opportunity. So hopefully we'll be able to show you some incredible sights.
Could we have a new Wahoo, please?